You see, every wave of change comes with its own set of contradictions. So during independence, everyone thought that independence was a quick fix panacea. And so they absconded their duty to hold the government, in check. Even the freedom fighters now, they were being killed one by one. There was a genocide, silent genocide. The people who tried to speak, Tom Mboya, J.M. Karaoke, they were being assassinated during that time. The Moi era also, a lot of people were killed, Robert Ouko, whatnot. So it is all because of the people. These things happen because the vast majority of people choose to keep quiet or choose to side with the oppressor. And remember, we have come to see that when the oppression does not affect somebody, they are more than happy to turn a blind eye on it, which is why our civil society has almost like collapsed ever since the Uhuru presidency to now. The civil society, the church, everyone has absconded their duty. And so now when they are affected, like now we saw the churches have started, but they are not coming out. They are not saying that this government is corrupt. No, they are coming out and then they are looking like, it's almost like they want to be called to the table, you see. But as long as we have, a greater majority of Kenyans who are discussing on social media, on these new apps, then we are making progress, and we will put to task all the celebrities who endorsed corrupt individuals. Everyone who made a wrong call during the last election has to bear some element of responsibility. Yeah, you cannot be there like now we are seeing Uhuru trying to rebrand, trying to repolish himself. Everyone is now trying to revise, saying that now he's the angel. They are exploiting every shortcoming of this regime. However irredeemably corrupt the William Ruto government is, we will not be lectured by the Uhuru people or Uhuru propagandists. No. Today, I took some time just to tell people what happened with the SGR and to make comparisons, and I used the Morocco SGR. And we were talking about the Morocco, they embarked on an identical project. When Kenya was doing the SGR, the Nairobi-Mombasa SGR, Morocco were embarking on something called the Casablanca-Tangier. It is a 323-kilometer line, which is dual track. It is dual track and it is electric. And the carriages are modern. They are like the ones you see in Europe. While in Kenya, it's 440 kilometers, where you have, is not electric, it's a diesel engine. Maximum speed of the Kenyan SGR is 120 kph. The Morocco one is 320 kph. So why were we investing probably half of our GDP? Because now here is the other koso that the Kenyatta family played on us, is that the Morocco, with all those facilities and amenities and modernization and speed, their SGR or their train project cost $1.8 billion. The Kenyan one went to $3.2 billion. And you can see it's just a shithole. You get to the Syokimau. And first of all, don't forget that this train, you start at Syokimau. Syokimau is not in Nairobi. And then you get to Miritini. Miritini is not in Mombasa. If you move with somebody, like now if you live in Kilimani, and then you start your journey driving, and then the other person takes an Uber to go to the station and to connect, and then to get to where the guy who is driving will get to Mombasa CBD faster than the guy who took the SGR. So this was the biggest waste of time. If you look at the benches, they are upright. First of all, when you're driving in there are big potholes, and then there are extortionist police who are just harassing Uber drivers and whatnot. And then you get there, you are searched. You'd think like you're going to get into the Euro tunnel, the one that goes below the English Channel. You'd think it is that level, but it's just a taka, these refurbished trains. And then now here is the scam. The management company that handles the SGR is a combination of some Chinese oversight overlords, and then now local cartels. Local cartels, obviously. The Kenyatta family criminal enterprise, they are there. And then they've been posting losses, and so government has been bridging the deficit. So it's almost like how KQ was in a constant cycle of debt. So even these ones, they are inducing. So there is no incentive for them to bring good carriages, to bring good machines, which are fast, which can seat people. Them, they only want to stick to a schedule of 3 trains every day. While in Europe, there is a train every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes there is a train going to whichever respective town that you're going to. Here they only for a route or a line with a lot of traffic, they want to maintain 3. And then they want to delay you there. You have dogs searching you. You'd think that you're entering in heaven. And they have some other NYS chokoras there who are just harassing you, and policemen there. So, but they are doing this. Is the mentality, I am telling you, of boomers. They know they will never use that. Uhuru and his fucked up brother Mohoho, they know they'll never use that. So they see these peasants are using it. So we'd rather get them the lowest of the low. And because I told you these guys are muzungus, they are muzungus trapped in a black body. So they think about us as if they are our overlords. They are our, what can we say? They are royal family. You see, because you gave them that impression. The stupid people who are calling Uhuru Mudhamaki, they gave him the impression that he's the ruler of all life. Because even now we are still seeing him dominating the media space. You'd think that this guy is in active politics, or he's going to be in the ballot in 2027. But every day he has to be in the media one way or another. Why is he crowding our media? Why is he still in denial that he has retired? Nobody has time for his bullshit. And then don't forget that this game they are playing us. I told you this is a corruption relay where this one leaves the baton to this one. This other one continues with the corruption cartel. Uhuru never demolished. He never demolished anything for Ruto despite threatening. He kept threatening, I'm going to demolish Weston. No. But he kept demolishing. There was, remember, every Friday, there was that Caterpillar. There was that Sunny machinery which was going to demolish people's houses. He demolished other people's houses, not William Ruto. And then they engage in a mock cockfight in the media. And so now, and then don't forget, Uhuru is the one who collapsed all checks and balances of the government. He collapsed the judiciary. He turned parliament into, these guys were turned into lame ducks. They were just being bribed in the toilet. And then you remember even last year, they passed last minute laws. Together with Njay Muturi, they crafted laws to block other presidential candidates. Because if these other presidential, if Ruben Kigame was on the ballot, if Jimmy Wanjigi was on the ballot, probably William Ruto would not have won with the 200,000 margin that he did. You see, but these laws were made last minute by Uhuru. What was he doing? He was doing it to pave the way for somebody of his preference. So, and then they spend the next 5 years firefighting, mock cockfight, shadow boxing, taking us as if we are fools. But as we know better, we know that Uhuru turned a blind eye on Ruto's corruption, and now even Ruto will not dare touch him. And now you are seeing they want to sell parastatals to recover debt that nobody can show you. First of all, it wasn't approved by Parliament. Secondly, any debt, any loan that is accrued, whether from multilateral donors or from domestic banks, it has to be attached to a project. Now, if 4 trillion of this amount of debt they're talking about was not attached to any project, then the media, the corrupt media you're seeing every time Uhuru has to host journalists and editors at his house to give them brown envelope journalism. So the media successfully converted theft, and then they called it debt. And then why have you seen now NCBA? They are making the best money, the most amount of money. NCBA is prosperous now more than ever. These are a company owned by the former president, a bank owned by the former president, and it is prosperous in this presidency now more than ever. And where is this money coming from? From government paying the debt, the domestic debt that was borrowed. So these guys borrowed money, or government took money for non-existent projects, and now we are still paying interest for it. You're seeing now the Northlands airstrip was approved in July of this year. Are these people fighting? Do you think they are fighting? Do you think President William Ruto will go after the money that Uhuru has stolen, which has been rebranded as debt? No. Now they want to sell parastatals. You understand? So I'm telling you, the idea of boomers is that once they see that they don't need anything, they discard it, which is what Uhuru did during his presidency. All the facilities that were being used by young people, they turned Kenya into an import economy. And then now every day he has to dominate the headlines as if he has anything new to tell us. He had 10 years to tell us. And what did he do? He was just towing the line of multilateral donors. He was just, they tell him do a curfew, do a lockdown. He don't want to care whether there are people. Electricity prices shot up during the Uhuru presidency, and now he's masquerading as if now he's the solution to problems he created. Rubbish.